I'm excited to show you how to create this dress in Claude 3D. Let's get started. Okay, first thing first, we are gonna have our avatar and we will use that 3D pen to create our patterns. Yes, you start at center front and you just go around. You have to create a closed path and then click flatten in the middle, and then here you go. Your pattern is created. Okay, now we'll go for the back panel. The same, the 3D pen avatar. Click around. You basically design your own patterns in this project. Go around and don't forget to create a clean path. Let's find flatten tool. Oh, flatten. Click in the middle and voila, our second pattern. And you will see they're kind of wobbly, they're not perfect, right? And what we will do here to create perfect patterns, we'll use the smooth curve. Draw your line and then replace the old line with the new one. And I'll just do this on each side to create perfect professional edges. You can get away with it too, but if you have these seen by professional people, just, like a company or a potential employer, you want to make these look pretty good. Okay, let's go to the second pattern as well. So you basically click to one point to the second point, and then you just replace the old line or old curve with a new one, and you can create your own. Let's make this a little longer and then Control R to mirror paste. Let's sew. Sewing tool, I'm just using the free sewing tool now. Click to start and click to end and enter. Okay, this is a segment sewing tool. Okay, we have our top. I think we did. Maybe it's a little lower. Probably I'll just have to extend it a little bit. I'm going to choose another fabric here, which will be leather. Yes, let's make this bigger now. And I'm going to create the pants here, the shorts actually. And we'll start with the front. We need just a rectangle. Let's go to add point to create the crotch line. Edit pattern, just move this point a little bit. And yes, the curve line. Just adjust it. I'm gonna add a point here to make this part curvier because we do have hips and the sides. And then we just use a smooth curve and just move the point. And yes, we have one side now. Control R to mirror paste. And then I'm just gonna create a copy for the back too. So flip normal is just basically in case your front is grayish, that means you have the back of the fabric. So you can just like click right on flip normal and you'll just have the right side of the fabric that's outside of the fabric. Let's start sewing. So you can use the segment sewing tool or the free sewing tool. Okay, this is the inseam and voila, we have rendered it, simulated. Okay, I think, oh, I'm missing one part at the back. Okay, this is fixed. Now let's create the waistband. Just use the rectangle tool. You can make it actually a little bigger here. Perfect. And then Control R to create the back one. Flip normal. But these are linked, so just make sure you unlink them first. Remove link editing. And I think they look good now. Let's just sew. So you can use the end-to-end sewing here. And just follow the directions. Press enter to complete the end part. All right, let's go at the back now too. So you always want to be mindful how your patterns are arranged next to the body. This will just make your life so much easier when you simulate. I promise. Okay, enter to complete sewing. And we also have the sides, and this is with segment sewing. If you don't have any points in the middle, you can just use the segment sewing. And you can learn the shortcuts. Some of them I learned them, some of them I'm still learning them as I go, since I'm using several programs and they all have different shortcuts. Okay, let's assign the black fabric, because the shorts that Taylor Swift uses is in this color. Okay, I'm going to create the skirt part or the bottom part. Here I'm just going to basically just create this trapeze for now. We don't have the actual patterns, right? So we kind of create them from scratch and see how they look in 3D. And you can always edit it. I feel like maybe this is either a trapeze or maybe even a circle shape. Okay, so this is the front. I'm going to start sewing the front to the top part. Okay, again, end-to-end sewing, my favorite one. Yes, let's just make a copy for the back as well. And remove link editing. Just. Okay, and the same for the back, end-to-end sewing. And the sides, we need to get the sides sewn, the side seams. Simulate. And oh, I think I want to change this to the fabric to like a heavy canvas. Let's look and check where we can find it. All right, cotton heavy canvas, perfect. Simulate. That's what I have so far, so I'm going to work with this. Particle distance to 10. Okay, so this is basically our base. This is what we have. I'm going to add this internal lines so I can cut the fabrics. So, cut. I'm gonna delete the right side and then just Control R, Control C, Control R to copy and paste with mirror options. This way I have everything I'm doing on one side will be created on the other side as well. Yeah, maybe I'm just gonna make this a little bit more curved on the sides. Okay. And the same, internal line, find the middle point. You can even divide your pattern in half. Edit pattern, cut on the internal line, and you have two pieces for the front and two pieces for the front, for the back. So you remove one of the piece, Control C, Control R to mirror paste. Okay, now I'm going to just look for a plaid. So if you go with the connect assets, you can just, if you want to find this easier, I use a 26111. Just here, you just put add the information in the search panel. And you see that this is actually black and red. So I'm going to have to change this color in Photoshop. So what I will do, I'm going to save this swatch and open my Photoshop file, open, choose my swatch where I saved it. And now I'm just going to just tweak the colors. So maybe adjustment, selective colors. Let's see. Okay, maybe the hue. I'm gonna play with the hue saturation. So it's kind of, it's not really yellow, it's kind of like greenish yellow. Let's see if this does anything for on the selective color. Yeah, maybe the black one. It's kind of the black, it's not really black, it's more like navy, I think. Okay. Okay, let's export this. Actually, I don't need GIFs, I need a JPEG. Export, save and export, export and save. And then I'm going to import this pattern into Claw. So in Claw, instead in the base color map, instead of the red one, let me choose the new one. I just tweak the color and let me select my patterns and just assign with the arrow. Okay. I think the top is having some issues. Maybe I can make this one. I'm going to make a copy. So with plaid patterns, you have to kind of match the fabrics at the sides, especially when, you know, you have curves. And I created a copy just to be able to assign a different fabric as well. Okay, I think I'm happy with this. This looks pretty. So from far, you can really tell that the plaid is not exactly the same design. And I think I'm just pretty happy with how this turned out. And it's really quick. You can just take a plaid that looks similar and just tweak the colors, add it back into Claw and just use that. So as you can see, I have my reference image here. So this way I can create all the details. I think I'm going to start on the straps. You just use the rectangle tool, just kind of try to find a similar size. These straps are actually black and I'm going to create half. So you see how it goes around, it's like almost near the underarm, goes around the breast too. And now I'm going to assign the black fabric for it. I think I'm going to try the best part where I can sew it. So let's get the sewing tool. think maybe this is the best part where I can do the sewing. And Tag to Avatar tool is amazingly useful. You just pin virtually the fabric to the avatar. Just like that, to hold it. It's kind of draping, virtually draping your pieces, your fabric pieces to the avatar. Okay, this looks pretty good. Maybe a little smaller. Okay. And I think it's too exposed at the bust. Okay, let's just use particle distance 10 here as well and simulate. I'm going to increase the bust area because I think it's too low. All right. And the shrinkage, I'm going to decrease this. Let's create a choker now. So this is just basically a rectangle. Choose your own size, just place it properly next to the neck part. Okay. And use show arrangement points. These will turn, if you click on the point, it will make your pattern piece round and it will be helpful when you sew it. You sew the sides and then when you simulate, you're just not gonna have any issues. Okay, I think it should be higher. Yes, like this. That's better. And let's create the back. So back to the 3D pen avatar. Use your pen and just create the line. Okay, going back. And again, close path. Let's use the flatten tool. Click in the middle, and now you have the new pattern. And we have the one for the left side. Okay, so let's sew the top part as well to the choker. That will give the choker some stability as well. And now let's click on the line, offset as internal line, as pattern outline, I'm sorry. And then here, we're gonna create the trims at the top. Extend it, perpendicular. Maybe 8. Okay, so now we're gonna offset as an internal line, cut, and so on. And we have a new little pattern piece that is going to be black and it's part of the corset part. Okay, yay, we did this one. I love this tool as well. I'm going to work on the skirt part. So I'm going to just add an internal line, cut. So click right and cut. And then I'm just gonna focus on creating the shape a little bit here. Zipper, let's use the zipper tool. So you just click at the top and then click at the bottom. All right. First, I want to say that you have to unstitch this center front line to be able to stitch on both sides to create this zipper. So again, look at the reference line. And let's unstitch the trims, the black part at the top. Okay. Oh, I think my zipper is upside down. Let me fix the trim first. No, I think the zipper is fine. Okay. It just needed simulation. Now we're going to focus on the sides. I'm going to create 2 internal lines here, like an internal line on each side. Offset as internal line so I can create a little trim. Once I cut this, basically I'll have an insert easily created in the shape of the pattern I have already. Or you can trace as pattern. This is what I did this time. So you can just have create the points on each side and then just trace as pattern. But you have to have basically a close path as well. So 4 points, selecting all the lines and creating a trace pattern, clicking on in the middle. Then I'm going to sew it, or like actually I'll do superimpose over. That's always better in simulation. I'm going to draw these internal lines because I need to create the lacing part. And we will need to add the grommets and the lacings on the sides of this trim. So we need to create a trim. So 1 internal line, offset this internal line. We need 2. Okay, 20 millimeters, it's okay. Is this too wide? I think this looks good. No, 50 millimeters better. We're gonna do internal ellipse. And just this little circle, because that's gonna be for the grommets. And you just place it so the center of each point line is like this. Okay, so you just copy and paste basically. So the middle has to coincide with these points we have just created previously. So this is going to be very helpful when we create the grommets, you'll see pretty soon. So this is why I'm saying this takes some time, but if you are patient, you will be able to do this much faster next time. Okay, that's good. Okay, now I'm gonna delete the lines. Okay, select everything. and cut and sew. Okay, now I have the circles, and then you can just like on the circles, you can just put the opacity to 0. So this way they're transparent right now. So you really have the holes. You just literally created the grommet holes. So let's look for a grommet. Button, eyelets. That's what I wanted to say, eyelets. Okay, I think I like this one. Double click, add it to object browser. Maybe this one looks good too. So let's get the button tool, click in the middle and click on the grommets. You do this for each of them, just like that. Okay, this looks great. And voila, we created these part pretty easily with a little patience. Okay, maybe just play on the reflection if you want. And I'll probably have to adjust this the eyelets position a little bit to make sure they are right on top of the fabric. So Control C, Control R, and have these on the other side as well. Okay, I'm going to create this rectangle too. So it's basically on the side. Okay, that's good. This is going to be for the laces. It's going to be a little better in a second. Okay, I think the width is better. So if you see here, she has like a really thick one at the bottom of the waist, and then thinner ones as they're laced up to the corset on the side. So I'm just going to copy and paste, and then I'm just going to sew it just on the side. You can use free sewing or segment sewing. And I'm just going to attach it to that panel we just created earlier. And then what you do, you will be using the box tool to keep the side of the laces up. It's basically, again, just draping on a 3D avatar. So this is how you work around it. You hold with the pen tool, with the pin tools, your laces to be able to sew on the other side. Okay. Now we are going to do the same operation for the back as well. So we can just create a panel for the back with the internal lines. You can trace it or cut and sew as you wish. And I'm going to use this for the front panels. Exactly how we did in the back, we'll perform the same action in the front as well. Because we will add holes and eyelets on the other side as well. And of course, we have to do this on both sides right now. And a tool that I love is the linear measurement, okay? So you click on the linear measurement on the lower left and click on 2 points you want. And then you just go exactly how I'm showing here. So you start from the top, you go on the right side, then on the left side, then again on the right side. You have to skip one just because you will do the opposite and you'll have you have to create the back ones as well, like you know how you tie your shoes basically. You'll create the back ones that in 3D, that's the only way you can accomplish it. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, and now just go to the internal line. Then you click on the line. This way you can select the size. So this is what I'm doing. Okay, this has 42.5 millimeters. So I'm going to create a rectangle based on each line size. So 42.5, and then the height is going to be the same, 5 millimeters. All right, I have my third rectangle. Next, this is also 42.5. I'm going to speed it up a little bit here so you don't get bored. Okay, now I'm going to select all my patterns and I'm just going to space them up and just arrange them. A line on the right or on the center. Okay, that's it. Okay. Let's just organize them a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to select all of them and I'm going to arrange them to place them exactly where the lacing should happen. Okay. Okay, so this is a little tedious, takes a little time, but the effect at the end looks amazing. Okay, so we have them all placed, and now I'm going to create an internal line in the middle of each grommet, eyelet, eyelet. And this way you will be able to stitch each rectangle ribbon created to the middle. And this is what we're doing right now. Okay, so okay, create a line. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna do this on the other side as well. And now let's start the sewing process. All right, so now I'm gonna position them and I'm going to literally stitch the side to the middle of the eyelet. Okay, stitch. And then middle of a grommet, eyelet. And you see I have all of these stitches, these almost invisible stitches that go through the eyelet. Okay, so we'll do this for all of them. I know that is a lot, but I promise it gets better after this and a little faster too. Okay, then you will simulate. Once you stitch everything, and I'm gonna make a copy of this black fabric. I'm gonna call it lacing and assign it to all the black ribbons I created, all the black rectangles. And I'm just gonna go here and see, okay, let's go to the physical property and increase the stretch weft, increase the warp as well. This will make them more stretchy and more elastic when I'm actually sewing. Okay, maybe I'll make it a little sheer. Okay, so that doesn't look bad, but we need to adjust all the lines and the eyelets. Okay, for example, this one looks a little bit tilted. We have to adjust this. Okay, we need to adjust all of them. And I think the lacing might be a little too thin. Okay, then you're gonna simulate again and again. This is tedious. Okay, this looks a little better now. Okay, so now let's go to the next part. I'm gonna put these actually on minus layer 1. -1. Okay, this looks much, much better. I'm very happy with this. Or layer 0. Okay, layer 0 is good. So now I'm going to copy these laces, these rectangles, and just I'm gonna need to change their position and change direction too. And then I'm going to sew them to the eyelet as well in the middle. Okay, after we add the second layer of lace up, I'm gonna simulate and check on them and see how they look. Okay. And you can like literally just adjust the way I'm doing right now, and really it's just a work in progress. So as you can see, the white one are frozen to not interfere with the new ones I just added. Okay, and strengthen and then simulate again. All right, they look pretty good. Thick texture. And I'm just gonna put all of them on strengthen now and simulate. Some of them are twisted, but I think that's okay. That's kind of like more realistic too. And I think I need one more, so I'm gonna use the garment measurement again and create another rectangle. And then again, what I'm going to do, let's see. Let's have, and I'm going to add it to the bottom of the top, superimpose over. That's because in the image we have these like ribbons and kind of like, I don't know, like belts next to the waist. Now I'm going to look, I'll show you in a second. Okay, I'm gonna need some hardware. So I have this second piece added and I have the buckle. Because the dress has a buckle on the waist, actually multiple ones. I'll show in a bit. And now I'm gonna have to basically create multiple cuts on this waist. And I also decrease the amount of length on the front for the the waistband, just because it's gonna like make it more cinch in and just gonna drape better. And now I'm going to add many cuts in this piece of the buckle of the black part of the waistband, and I'm going to basically stitch and sew the buckle in. So first I'm going to draw an internal line, several of them actually, and just create additional pieces and making sure you use the toolbox, and you can select the mesh and then pull the fabric like this. This again takes time here. You just have to do what works for you and just kind of simulate all the time to make sure you don't get the program to crash. Because if you just do a few steps and then you simulate, do a few steps and then you simulate, the process is going to be much smoother when you do the overall look. I'm going to speed it up a little bit here. But let me know if you need additional information from this part. I can send it to you, or I can add it on the channel as well. Okay, now that the buckle is done, I am going to copy and paste it and adjust it to the sides as well, because this dress has additional buckles that give this kind of like sporty cool look. And I'm gonna try to need to extend these ribbons, these black ribbons, to accommodate the buckle. Okay, so first I'm just gonna play with the ribbons so I can place them properly. I can use the arrangement points as you see, and just basically stitch them on the other side of the inserts. Okay, after you simulate, let's see. Okay, it looks pretty good on one side, but we need to do the other side too. Once you have one side perfect, you need to do it on the other side as well. Okay, so we will create these internal lines on these black ribbons for these buckles to be attached. Okay, so you can just add the internal lines, cut, create small pieces of fabric that are part of the ribbons as well, to be able to sew and stitch the buckle to the ribbons. Okay, this is one. Yay, we've done it. So that's basically the process for all of them. Okay, now I have this cord extender at the top that needs to be added as well. And the same, just have to use the pin tool and the mesh and just drag it around to position it in and out of the lace up. Okay, now that we're done with this, let's take a look and let's just see. Okay, so this for the buckles, the process is going to be exactly the same. You just have to do exactly the same thing, or just copy and paste the ribbon and the buckle all together. And I think that will help speed up the process as well. I got here a little bit detailed, more detailed, and I created these additional hooks for to place to keep the buckles in place. As you can see, you don't have to do this necessarily unless you really want to get really good at claw and speed up your process. Okay, I'm liking the result. This is what I have so far. And I have added these fabric that has this like cording effect, and I think it makes it look much more realistic for the buckle and also for the overall look. So let me know what you think of the buckle process, and if you need more detailed information about it and more videos about it, I can upload this as well.